You thought you were good people doing good things, but you really just buried 6 kids. Man, this is just like you know, a massive bomb on a particular way of thinking, because these are Wendy's lines from the last episode of Alien Earth. And of course, her role in this is that she was a hybrid who started life as a little girl, and the claim was that she was dying and they were going to transfer her consciousness into this new android body, and she would live forever. And this is important because what the CEO of the company, Boy Cavalier, was essentially saying was that he was going to sell people immortality. And so the big question within all that is always this idea of identity and continuity of identity. And there's two schools of thought there. Now, his thought, or a lot of people's thought, is actually that you preserve a person. The original person is always saved as long as you take the memory, the personality, and like your psychological profiles, your links. And as long as that is preserved in some type of a new substrate, then people would say this is you. But what Wendy or Marcy does is she rejects this notion that the copies equal survival. There is the same topic kind of comes up in Mickey 17, where this idea that he's a clone and he keeps getting copied, but he himself at the stage 17 is questioning whether it's really him and how he should have, just knowing that there's going to be some other clone that's going to be there with his girlfriend or living his life. We also see the same thing in The Sixth Day, the Schwarzenegger flick, which is about cloning and duplications and the ethics and the legal identity, the legalness of this identity and this potential chaos that it could create when you've got multiple clones of one person who, from the standpoint of when they are conceived, now have free agency. They can do as they choose. They can run the narrative in different ways. So this is what Wendy, I think, really cuts to the heart of, is that from the mouth of the hybrid herself, she says, I am not Wendy. I am not Marcy. That you buried Marcy just like you buried all 6 of these. So that really, really kiboshes the whole idea of this immortality that they've been wanting to sell. Something I think is starting to be kind of prevalent in society when we talk about it. At least we see it appearing more and more in media. These ideas of a consciousness, a human consciousness living on, that you can change it from this biological mechanism to this purely digital mechanism. So it's a very interesting concept, and I think for this one, just like the other films we've shown or the other films I talked about, the idea of that identity being continuous, that life being the same, is pretty hotly contested. And I think the answer that we hear, at least in terms of these ones I've talked about here, is that the answer is no, that you're not doing that. So give me your thoughts about that whole idea and what you thought about Wendy in the last episode of the season.